Warning, this video contains minor spoilers, and this is the second episode of a VN series, so if you haven't read both of them, or at the very least, the first episode, then please do so before watching this video.
Hi.
The sibling relationship between the two just seems genuine. A brother and a sister messing with each other, but deep down you know that they love one another. Just like siblings though. What I said won't age well, will it?
I say cry, yeah. I say right, yeah. I say right, yeah. I my brother, yeah. No, I'm saying you.
What? More incest. Episode 2 of the 99 series picks off around 1 hour or 2 of reading the first episode. So, the setting, the same. The incidents, they happened. The main difference is the girl you end up with. The imouto route. So, let's talk about her. I can't say lucky bastard here because, as you know, this is a taboo moment since he is directly blood related with the heroine. But then again, I made this video, so yeah, fuck it. He's a lucky bastard who couldn't resist.
I couldn't resist.
One of the best little sister characters ever, the perfect wife, the Chuni Kudere, and best girl, as usual. The MC, Kakeru, is no different than how he was in the first episode. A caring brother who's willing to put himself in danger to protect others. The caring brother part here will heavily be taken advantage of because obviously we have the little sister as the main heroine this turn.
Good morning, my brother.
Nimi Sora, as I've said, one of the best imouto characters ever. Possibly even the best to my memory. Maybe there's a better one out there somewhere, but so far I'm crowning this cheeky, mischievous, spoiled, brocon little shit the queen of all little sisters. I can't relate to Kakeru's situation here since I don't have a little sister, but if I did and Sora was her, I'd be fucking annoyed as hell. She's selfish, sharp-tongued, and overall a thorn in my side. That being said, she does support her brother whenever necessary, especially when it comes to the investigation of the mysteries in the plot here. Just like Kakeru, Sora would also willingly protect others from danger. The main highlight of her character is her goddamned lines.
何？そんなに私に会いたかったの？二人っきりになれると思ったが？ん？残念だったな。私は絶対に帰らんぞ。
いい妹は無理やり止まったりしないけどな。
ちー、なんだよもうちー。
お、なんだやるか？
おー、いいぞこら、やったら。バカなの？
おごる気なくなったわ。割り勘ゲージマックスだわ。
やだ、今日のお兄ちゃん超かっこいい。抱いてほしい。
きっしょ。
はあ、今なんて言いました。はあ。ああ、帰るよ。
そっか。
おやおや、寂しいのかな？泊まってほしいのかな？もう、ニーに行ったらしいっすか？今、舌打ちしましたね。舌打ちしました？そうだわ。お兄ちゃんが大好きだから、彼氏とかいらないの。
It's just so beautiful.
Oh my god, her teasing you? I just want to pinch her cheeks for being so adorable. Being the brocon that she is, Sora just loves to hang out with Kakeru in his apartment whenever possible. Even to the point of having sleepovers there. Accidents could have happened.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Anyway, the next girl is the perfect wife. Just like the protagonist, Miyako's character is also similar to her episode 1 counterpart. But, of course, put aside the falling in love with the MC part. She cooks and takes care of the other characters' stomachs. If you already satisfy a man's hunger, he'll just call you wife. Moving on, the Kudere, Yuki Noa, who is also called the perfect queen.
誰？うちの常連さんの。
パフェクイーン？
そんな名前で呼ばれているのね。別にいいけれど。あとは私に任せなさい。
Oh my god, the Chuni. The Chuni! I just can't help but cringe. Her nickname was given to her due to her love for parfaits. She usually orders that at a cafe where Miyako works part-time. Noah's also someone who has an artifact and is determined to find out the perpetrator behind the mysterious incident and, of course, carry out justice. She's a stoic, confident yet distrustful person, mainly motivated by common goals rather than dedication to friendships, which is to be expected because so far she seems to be a loner. Another one who is a loner is Best Girl, Kosaka Haruka, the third-year senpai who is the most beautiful in this series. Contrary to what you would know about her in the first episode, Haruka's actually a very timid and shy person. Her social interaction is awkward even with other girls, and when you bring a dude into the conversation, she'll cower away. This is why her personality is split, and therefore she has that One-chan vibe sometimes. I guess this would happen if you can't overcome an obstacle on your own, so you create another personality to take care of it. Just look at Homelander.
Hey. When we were kids, alone in the bedroom, I got us through it, right?
I ain't complaining about the result though. A gorgeous senpai like that, I can protect one side of her and completely submit myself to the other. Her is what I live for. The outgoing airhead with simple needs, the arrogant Chunibyo, the caring Tilf who is also an Osana Najimi, the f***ing plushie, and I can fix her. Other characters are also present, but without sprites yet fully voiced, so go play the damn game to find out more. If you want to know more about the technical stuff, I would suggest watching my video on the previous episode because the UI is exactly the same, just different background CGs. Same load slots, same option config page with the same bullshit. Same gallery with the best page as usual. Speaking of which, there's a technical mistake here. The scenes that are necessary are a total of 3, but this page shows 6 because there is a duplicate of each scene. It may be a programming error or probably a bug during the patch restoration, but regardless, I just find it weird that you have 2 selections of the same scene. No faults in the English text to my knowledge, so that's an improvement since the first episode had 2. The music is also mostly similar. They removed 2 OSTs from Miyako's route and added 6 in Sora's. Longer than the last one, so that's a bit of good news. While my playtime of the first episode was 5.4 hours, the second gave me 7.3, and the average in VNB is around 10 hours and 59 minutes. Now, this feels more worth your money, which is under 20 euros. The first one is also priced the same, but isn't as worth it. You have one bad end and one true end here, which is separated by a choice prompt that has 2 options. I don't know if you can get into the true end immediately though, since I myself went into the bad end initially. If anyone knows about this, feel free to comment it down below. Regardless, I would still recommend going for the bad ending first and save the best for last, as they say. There is another choice prompt that does nothing. And it's this one. What's the point of this? They all mean the same thing. And they don't change anything. The lines afterwards are identical and the story progresses the same way. Did the devs have extra budget or what? If so, put it in something else. I don't know, maybe a live 2D background in the main menu. Come on. You guys made the H scenes animated. I doubt Sora's CG here would be much different. The story in episode 2 is better, but only ever so slightly. It's as if the series has lost its identity as a murder mystery, but in its defense, it's already been like that since episode 1. The main plot is still there, but it's not really the main focus. You don't feel the mystery here because you're distracted by another subplot, which is with the main heroine. That and the other cute girls. Don't get me wrong, the heroines feel more fleshed out aside from Miyako, but you don't really need more details on her due to obvious reasons. Them getting more attention than the first episode is a good thing. The more screen time they have, the higher chance you would care about them. The bad thing is when this subplot overshadows the main plot. Yes, the plot progresses, but you don't exactly experience the tension or the mystery. The atmosphere feels too lighthearted until a certain point in the story. To add to that, the amount of Chunibyo stuff in this story is more than necessary. I didn't feel the intensity or the seriousness of the situation even if the villains were introduced. For that particular part though, it was relieving. You get to know who the antagonists are and their intentions, so the plot does move forward. However, at some point after they were introduced, it just killed the mood due to the excessive amounts of Chuni. Seriously, what was the author thinking? We have a murder case here. It's not to be taken lightly. Look, I appreciate all the wholesome moments, especially if they're in chibi mode. But the main plot should not be neglected. Or rather, the execution at least. It was poor and should have been handled better. What I would recommend is cut down the parts at the school, the light-hearted moments, and as much as I hate to say this, and you guys will disagree with me, Sora's screen time.
What?
No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
You'd get a balance of both worlds then. She was fantastically introduced in the first episode. I, as a reader, already care a lot for her, so she doesn't need to overstay her welcome. Or a simpler solution. Make the fucking story longer. You get to fix the pacing that way, which it itself is not bad, but not good either. Character development, on the other hand, is good enough. Character interaction though. Ho ho. Next section. I really want to point out how good the character interaction is, at least from Sora's contributions.
こいつって言うな。何様だお前は。
妹様だ、敬え。今のは舌打ちかな？開始ワンパターンか？お兄たま大チキ、許して。
うわ、ぶっ飛ばして、張り倒して。
ごめんってば、本当に悪いと思ってるの？ごめんなさい。
あいつとか言うな。何様だお前。
妹様だ、敬え。
俺もこいつのこと苦手なんで、ほんと気にしないでくださいね、先輩。
おい、今なんつった？おい、ジャック開いてる。
え？
嘘だよーん。ちゃんの中の男の部分が勝ったら、それもうオッケーってことじゃん。お兄ちゃんも私をそういう目で見てるってことじゃん。だからだけ。
強引だな。
失礼します。
おい。
デュエルスタート！イエーイ！私にする？私にする？それとも、私ね、オッケー。
Despite all the flaws and faults mentioned in the previous section, the character interaction is incredible. A bit less on the writing and more on the voice acting. Oh dear god, the voice acting. Such a crucial part in a VN. The majority of it was carried by Sora's line and her VA, of course.
エッチしてください！ KO! You win! やった！クソ兄貴め！ひどい！ Do you like sushi? Wow!
Apparently, the voice actress goes under the alias of Sawa 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 here. But if you go to her profile in VNDB, it's Tanezaki Atsumi. If this is true, she's a big f***ing deal to me. Anya? Muran? Frieren? Ryo Futaba? And my personal favorite, Vivi.
5年ぶりの言葉がそれ。
正確には5年1ヶ月と9日。
見て。
はい。
I like her stoic voiceover small, but to think she's also the VA for Sora here, that's some talent, considering how lively and cheerful Sora is. But yeah, she also voiced Anya, so I guess I should have expected that at least. Just another point to remind all future VN developers to not add this shitty page in their games from now on. Another thing that is always a positive is the presence of here. Thank you for the fan service. Now, for the bad stuff. I don't really want to say this, but I have to. The developers are overestimating the value of this series. I criticized about the unworthiness of episode 1's price. I would also criticize episode 2's now. Forgive me for doing this, but I'm gonna do a comparison. And the closest setting that I could think of is probably Fate Stay Night. Now, let's set their average playtime and pricing side by side. Provided that you want to play all 4 episodes. The first one is around 8 hours long. Episode 2, 11 hours. The third, also under 11. And the last one would be 12 hours. That's a total of under 42 hours of average playtime. And if you get the bundle to save a bit more money, it'll still be around 70 euros. Fate Stay Night Remastered, on the other hand, costs just under 30 euros for under 88 hours of average playtime. You're paying more than double for the 99 series and get less than half the playtime. What is this pricing? Better graphics? Nuh-uh. Fuck that argument. It's stupid. It's the same argument where the majority of AAA game devs use nowadays. Oh, players want better graphics and they cost a lot to develop. No, we want more content, and the main content in a visual novel is the story. Hell, if you want another VM to compare to that has great visuals, take Alcana for example. 44 hours average playtime priced at 34 euros. Slightly longer and still half the price with nice sound effects and good story. Oh my god. I really apologize if I'm nagging a lot here. I think this is my first time doing this, but I'm just so frustrated, man. You guys deserve better. Anyway, what I'm gonna talk about next involves heavy spoilers, so if you haven't read it yet, please skip to the fun section. That cliffhanger. I don't know what to say about it. Not gonna lie, I saw it coming because it was kind of obvious. Characters, especially characters with sprites, are there for a reason. So I started to suspect the Tilf and Yoichi. Turns out, one of them was correct. That plot twist was expected from a mile away. What I didn't expect was how they handled Sora's side effects of using her powers excessively. The power to disappear from sight. And when uncontrolled, your very existence will disappear as well. Even to the point of being forgotten by others. Genuinely shocking. Yeah, the scene where Sora couldn't even access her own phone. When I first read that part, my jaw dropped. I would have thought she would just stay invisible forever. But apparently, we got something even deeper. I can't imagine being forgotten, especially from the ones you love. It was a very good execution on that part. Seeing Sora crying for Kakeru when she was in the middle of disappearing broke my heart, man. Plus, that moment, the mother also forgot about her, and then the MC himself. Oh, that arc was the gift that keeps on giving. It was so good. I also want to talk a bit about Best Girl here. If I recall correctly, her team itself was said to be a loner, someone whom people don't approach. And I wanted to call out on that lie because, come on, a beauty like that and no man ever tried to make a move on her or at the very least to befriend her? Come on. Hell will freeze over first. It would be a different story if she's a rude bitch, but in this case, it's the complete opposite. Turns out, a male student did try to approach her, so I didn't even need to use that argument. Good save. And finally, I now understand why this was commented. At first, I was like, huh? What's a paperback got to do with episode 2? And then boom! What the fuck? Seriously? What in the hell was that moment? Sora. I love her H scenes. As I've mentioned in the technical section, there are 3 H scenes. Tags include the bicycle, the spoon, the standard missionary, BJ, and the best of all, the cowgirl. I know this is a taboo moment, but the deed's been done, so there's no use crying over spilled milk here. In fact, I would go even further to say that the H scenes here are a good addition to the story. Well, the first 2 at least. Scene number 1 was quite emotional in the normal sense, not in the horny sense. Scene number 2 is the one that would entertain you the most due to a certain reason which I will not share. The third scene is just fan service, but I doubt anyone watching this channel would complain about that, right?
You're goddamn right.
In addition, just like episode 1, the H scenes here are also animated.
Finally, some good fucking food.
Big W there. Much appreciated. Still doesn't justify the price tag though, but yeah, let's end this. To conclude, 99 episode 2 is without a doubt an improvement when compared to the first episode. But unfortunately, it's not as major as it should have been. Characters got more screen time, as they deserve, and the story does progress forward, but it's being held back by confusing plot priorities and therefore mediocre execution and pacing. That being said, the game was carried really hard by one particular individual, and that person is Sora, backed up by her phenomenal voice actress and good writing. And so, the Degen score for 9-9 Episode 2 is an 8. I would have given it 7.5 to be honest, but this imouto was too good, and thus added another 0.5 to the rating. A good score, relatively speaking, but I still won't recommend getting this visual novel at full price. Anyway, that's all from me. Hope you guys can like and subscribe if you enjoyed the vid. In the event that you want to support me further, please consider joining my Patreon linked below. Later, Degens.